Hello everyone. We're going to begin our tutorial on the creation of Google Forms. Forms is widely regarded as perhaps the most versatile of all the Google Suite for Education tools, and it has so many purposes, ranging from an easy way to do a quick classroom assessment, to data collection for faculty and staff, to parent contact information. There's just so many possibilities with Forms. So what I would like to do is we'll do a series of a couple short videos to kind of learn the basics of how to set up a form, how to collect and review the data from the form when it's responded to, and then we'll look at how to actually turn them into a test or quiz that will grade for you. So you can use those as formative or summative assessments and have your data all in one place. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. What you'll need to do to begin is to enter your Google Drive, and you're going to create a form like you would a Google Doc or something similar. So we're going to choose the button that says New. We're going to go down. Usually you have to click on More and then choose Google Forms, which comes up first. When I do that, I'm going to get this blank form. It usually defaults to having a blue banner at the top, and it should just be Untitled Form. So to go through these steps of basic setup, first thing we want to do is make sure we give it a title. Otherwise, it will save as Untitled Form in your drive, and you won't easily know what it is. So we're going to go ahead and give this a title. I'm going to call this Chapter 1 Quiz. And once I've typed that, if I click down here where the title reappears, it'll automatically change over. So now my title is accurate in both places. Okay. When I go to the top of the screen, I have some tools here. We'll first look at the palette. The color palette says Customize Theme. When you click on that, you can choose from several colors. So if I wanted to make it orange, for example, I could do so. If I want to change the background color, I could do that, and it makes it a different shade. I can also change the font style. I can make it look, more scripted or entertaining. This one's called Playful, for example. I also have the option of choosing an image for my header. So if I was, for example, teaching language arts class, I might choose a book and choose Select. And using that tool, you can even upload your own photos to decorate your form. So I'm going to get out of that. That's your options for customizing the theme. The second choice you'll have is the eyeball. It says Preview. We don't need to worry about that yet, but as you're working on your form, this is the button you'll click on to take a look at how your form looks so far, because it is how it will appear to your respondents. And the third button up here, your settings, the gear cog. We're going to go ahead and choose that, and we have some options we need to take a look at. The first thing is collect email addresses. Yeah, if you're going to use this in the classroom for assessment purposes, I would advise you always check this box, just in the event that a student for some reason didn't include their name, or if you forget to put a name blank on your form, something like that. At least with the collecting email addresses, there's a record of where the answer came from. Now, down below here, under Requires Sign-In, you have a couple choices, and these are important. The first one will be to restrict to, and then it will give your domain. Now, I work in Washington, so we have Washington schools users here. Your school district's domain name may appear in place of that. If we want to restrict it to people in that domain, for example, I'm not going to give a quiz to anybody who's not in my domain, I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is turned on. I also have the option to limit it to one response. So if I was giving a quiz or something where I didn't want someone to be able to re-respond, I could turn that on as well. Also have choices where folks can respond and then make changes or see the summary of what everyone else is responding. That's kind of fun if you did like a poll in your classroom or something and your students wanted to see the responses in real time. This would be a pretty accurate way to do that. Going back to the top, we have Presentation. I'll choose that. And we have some options here. We can show the progress bar at the top. It'll tell the respondent the percentage of completion that they have made on the form. We can shuffle question order if we want to do that just for test security's sake or something like that. We also have a confirmation message. Confirmation message is great if you're using this in a classroom setting and you don't want students kind of idly waiting after they finish filling out their form. So you can put some instructions here. My form, for example, is called Chapter 1 Quiz. So my confirmation message, which is the last thing my respondents will see, might be something like, now that you have finished your quiz, read Chapter 2 silently. And I have that information there, and that way I don't have students who don't know what to do next. And then lastly, at the top, we have a button that says Quizzes. I will take a look at this with you in a later tutorial, but Quizzes is the third choice, and this is where we would actually turn our form into a self-grading assessment. So we'll take a look at that later in our series. I'm not going to make any more changes for now, so I'm going to click Save, and it will update everything that I've just done. All right. This is the basics of setting up the form. We know what the different tools at the top of the screen do, and we know kind of how it looks now. In our next tutorial, we'll take a look at how to create questions and answer keys for self-grading. Thank you very much.